I didn't really understand Xehanort. He always seemed like a generic villain. I didn't really know why he did anything, or who he really was deep down. But after finishing Dark Road, I finally get him. So here's the truth about Xehanort. 66 years ago, there was a pregnant woman in the city of Skalia ad Kalum. She was approached by a figure in a blue robe. They were a survivor from a long time ago, and they knew things. They had lived multiple lives, and they had learned about a prophecy, the child of destiny. They believed that her unborn child was destined to save the universe, to defeat an evil villain known as the Dark Seeker. We don't know what this woman did, but we know what happened to her baby. He was taken, stolen away, and raised by this mysterious blue-robed figure. They traveled to the Islands of Destiny, and for 16 years, Xehanort lived in a makeshift shack on an abandoned island. For his entire childhood, he was told that he was born to save the universe, destined to fight the Darkseeker and save the world from darkness. When he was a kid, Xehanort dreamt of people he never met before, a group of children chosen to lead the last remaining Keyblade wielders. When Xehanort told his guardian about them, they knew they were right. The Child of Destiny is said to be able to connect to other people's hearts, to feel their emotions and have visions of their memories. Just before Xehanort was old enough to leave, his guardian, the only person he ever knew, died. And he was alone, left on an island of isolation, to stew, to think. Not soon after, a visitor arrived on the island, a man in a robe. This man told him about his future, about who he would become, and what he was destined to do. Before Xehanort could get his name, a portal of darkness appeared. It was his only way out. He'd been trapped on that island his whole life, and all he wanted to do was leave. As he walked through the dark, he could feel the pain around him. He could feel it seep into his heart, whispering to him feelings of pain and sorrow, things that he might one day cause. For the next few years, Xehanort would live in the city of his birth, Skalia ad Kalum. He would make friends and live a normal life, and he was trained by yet another man in a robe, Master Odin. He was learning how to use the Keyblade and playing chess with his closest friend Ericus. The two were inseparable, and they had very strong feelings about each other. They would fight constantly, arguing and trying to one-up each other. Everyone said they had a very special relationship, but tragedy struck before they knew it. Their friends were all dead, and Xehanort was face to face with a boy possessed by darkness. Xehanort wasn't sure if he made the right decision that day. He could have spared that boy, but the things he said made sense. He did feel a darkness everywhere. He had seen evil tyrants harm others. Pain and suffering spread everywhere. His classmates were all dead, and Ericus, his own personal light in the darkness, couldn't help him anymore. It was then, just before his Mark of Mastery exam, he met a fourth man in a robe. This man was the Master of Masters, the one who wrote the Book of Prophecies, the man who knows his future. The Master called him the Singularity. He asked him about his life, about his choices. He was trying to understand him. Xehanort could have still been saved, but the Master only wanted to nudge him down the path he had chosen for him. All Xehanort's life, men in robes told him what to do. He never got a choice. His life was planned generations before he was born. The Master gave him a coat, gave him advice, and Xehanort left. Before his life was truly set in stone, Xehanort would meet one last figure in a robe. The brown-robed figure that spoke of his future before on the island returned, and he told him the truth. Xehanort had to make a choice, to follow the light like his personal light Ericus, or embrace the darkness like the boy he struck down. All these different influences finally sunk in. All of the robed figures, Ericus, his teacher, his guardian, and in the end, Xehanort chose the dark. From that moment, his fate was set. The man told him he was his future self. Everything Xehanort was going to do for the rest of his life was all just determined. He would live 13 lives. He would die over and over, commit unspeakable acts, and in the end, he would destroy all the worlds. He wasn't the Child of Destiny. He was the Darkseeker, and his saga was just beginning. He fought against his future enemies, learned where it would all end, and he saw what he would become. When he finally did return home after his long journey through time, it was all gone. He couldn't remember it, but his choices were forever etched in his heart. Every choice he made, act he took, it was all driven by the choice he made on that day. He was given the ancient Keyblade No Name. He was given the rank of master and sent out into the worlds. After fighting his best friend Ericus, who just wanted to stop him from falling to the dark, he would travel the cosmos, learn ancient secrets, go everywhere, do everything. 60 years would pass. He returned to scar his friend. He experimented on that same boy he dreamt of as a kid, and he would set into motion the events that would lead to the end of all reality. Xehanort's story is a sad one. An innocent kid, stolen from his mother, raised alone, manipulated by 4 figures in robes. He never really had a chance. But the Master's battle against darkness was decided long before Xehanort was born. Anyway, I'm Aloni the Bard, and that's what I know about that. Thanks for listening. Bye. I've been trying to explain this guy for like 3 months, and only until I watched the last 2 minutes of Dark Road did I actually understand Xehanort. Many people think that the blue robe figure is the player from Union Cross and the upcoming game Missing Link. It's not that important, but it's nice that they added that. I got some really interesting videos in the works. If you liked this video, I got another channel called Aloni, where I talk about a bunch of random stuff. This week, I talked about Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and how it's both the gayest show ever, and also hyper homophobic in the beginning. It's a pretty good video. It's all about internalized homophobia. Real deep topics over on Aloni. You'd think that that would be the one where I actually write the scripts, but no. It's all improv, baby. Also, if you want to check out my other thing, because I can't seem to put one thing on my end card, I gotta put 4 things on there, you should check out my D&D show. I edited it this week, and I actually really loved it. I think it's starting to become really, really good. I think at this point, while recording my D&D show, I finally got in the groove of it, because I was doing it weekly back then. Anyway, you should check it out. It's pretty fun. You can pretty much jump in on any episode. There's a recap at the beginning of every single one. But check them out. Here they are. Here's my stuff. Bye.